The menace of banditry is still as worrisome as ever in Nigeria. Bandits killed about 40 people in a fresh attacks in Kebbi and Zamfara states. According to reports, the terrorists attacked local communities in the states on Sunday and started shooting sporadically at villages. 6 mobile policemen were among the 36 victims killed at Dan Umaru in Zuru area of Kebbi State. Banditry. For you to hear 40 people, killed 40 people in fresh attack, that means you can just say more than 50, 60 people would have lost their lives.
Just after the elections, look at what happened in Benue. Look at Plateau. The problem is that we need to have a broader view of the problem of terrorism. It should go beyond just describing these people as bandits. Look at what is happening in Sudan. You see, there are mercenaries for hire all over the world now. They move across conflict zones. Small arms are so widely available. Sudan, they produce small arms in Sudan. So you find out that these people shouldn't any longer be classified as just bandits. They should be classified as terrorists, because to just open fire on defenseless villagers and kill them like that shows that something is fundamentally wrong. Now, the deterrent, they know that is it that they believe that they can do things and get away with them. They can kill as many people as possible and get away with it. But if the deterrent, if there is enough deterrence to make sure that these people are caught, in fact, they are prevented from doing these things, and where they are caught, they are dealt with. I don't know how many of these people have been prosecuted or jailed or sentenced to death. I don't know how many of these people. And so people just continue with these things, and we cannot we cannot continue with this loss of lives. These are human beings. These are Nigerians, valuable Nigerians, being wasted. 40 people killed. Look at what the one that happened in Benue just after the elections. We must say enough is enough. We cannot allow this to continue. If there's any politics behind all of this, then heads have to roll. We cannot just continue to allow people, they wake up, just go and keep it. Because a lot of these people are actually under the influence of drugs. So how do these drugs get to these people? How can the state make sure that efforts are, that adequate measures are taken to put a stop to all of this? It has to stop. It has to stop. The figures are really frightening. It has to stop.
Asuko, you still have 6 policemen mixed up in this.
Honestly, and we are just talking about mobile policemen, being killed amongst these 36. And it's sad because since the general election, we've been hearing killings, especially in Benue State, and now we are talking about Kebbi and Zamfara. We have so many ungoverned spaces in Nigeria, and to govern, to put security in everywhere in Nigeria will be a bit difficult, but it's doable if we have the political will to do it. And then we just have to be sincere with ourselves. These bandits come from somewhere. Sometimes we need to also sit down to analyze why they are doing this. Some will say it's because of maybe they are trying to look for space for them to, farm, or for them to graze and all that. But the thing is, it's getting out of hand. The new administration have to find a way to solve the problem of banditry in Nigeria, because these killings has to stop. We need to go back to how Nigeria used to be before, where people can travel from point A to point B. In terms of killing human beings, it's really sad that we've gotten to this point that every day when we come on the journalist Hangout, we'll have to be talking about people being killed. My own is that no bandits have been caught. Is it that these guys just come, police, soldiers, nobody knows about anything about them, and then they go fly into thin air? Because if we don't start arresting these guys asking them tough questions, and making sure they are being prosecuted, it will continue. So if there are no punishments for wrongdoing, we will keep having this. So we need a situation whereby soldiers or police, let me use police now, because I want to make sure that the police also do their work. It's unfortunate they lost 6 mobile police officers, but we need them to be caught, these bandits to be caught, and then prosecute them. We need to know why they are doing this. Because if we don't, we'll keep going up in circle. So the new government that is coming have to strengthen the police force in such a way that we'll be able to make sure that bandits do not constitute a problem for them. Especially once it comes to states like Kebbi that are into farming, and Zamfara, that they have, they have gold that we can easily mine for us to even boost our revenue. So we need to get to that point whereby those who are involved in this are being caught and not just being killed. Because sometimes they say, they killed bandits. But we need them to be caught. Let Nigerians even know where they are from. Let's even know who they are, why they are doing this. Maybe by the time we get to that point, then we'll be able to analyze properly. Same with the one in Benue, same the one in Plateau, all those places that bandits just go there, kill for free, and then they will go. Every day we keep counting bodies as if we are counting, I don't want to use bad words, because these are human beings. So we need to be tough once it comes to the issue about banditry.
Okay. Thank you for staying with us. This is Journalist Hangout, and we still have Emeka Madunaku and Asuko James in house, and we're talking about the insecurity. Now, if we have banditry across the north, spinning back to the south, some southern states in the southern part of the country, and we still have Boko Haram in the northeast, and a lot of people have raised that question that it is time to reorganize and take another look at our security architecture.
Yes,
holistically.
Yes, security architecture, but we've changed service chiefs how many times? Did the situation improve? No. Different measures have been put in place. Government, at least, in fairness to them, they've made significant strides against Boko Haram.
Yes.
At least.
Yes.
Government has been able to really record some achievements against Boko Haram. But in terms of these bandits, there's some policies involved in it. Then there are issues of, for instance, illegal mining, like in Zamfara State. So you have foreign elements who capitalize on the violence for pecuniary gains, for economic gains. Now, you go down to the Middle Belt, especially Plateau, Benue. You look at the issue of, the rains have started. So you're talking about grazing and all of that. But you now also talk about the issue of land grabbing. Allegations of land grabbing that some of these headsmen get to some of these villages, drive the people away, kill the people, and occupy these places, and even rename them. So I think the issue of grazing should be dealt with. It should be dealt with the way it ought to be. And that is, it should be ranching. We should be talking about ranching this time around. Then, who are those foreign elements stoking violence for, because they are benefiting from illegal mining? These things need to be dealt with. Then, who are these bandits anyway? Why the United Arab Emirates helped us with information about the identities of some of these people, Boko Haram especially, seized their bank accounts and all of that. But up till now, even Mr. Femi Falana, SAN, had challenged the Attorney General of the Federation. Provide the details of those who are prosecuted. Up till now, nothing has been heard.
Are you insinuating that the government in any way, they've not shown
where they should bite? They've not been. The security forces have really been out there fighting. But you need to help them with prosecution. Some of these people should be taken away from society, from normal society. What are the prosecutions? How many people have you prosecuted? So how many bandits, suspected bandits, have been prosecuted and jailed? What about bank accounts? Because these people don't operate in isolation. What about their bank accounts? How are they being funded? The cattle they rustled, how many have been, how many of such cows have been returned to their owners? Then areas they've taken over, what has been done? What about reparations? If you found money, if you traced funds to their accounts, you seize those funds, there should be a reparation fund for the victims of this banditry. They should be paid. These people should be, up to whoever is sponsoring them, these people should be exposed, and the funds seized from them should be used to pay reparation. It's not just, okay, 40 people killed. What happens to them? What happens to their dependents? What happens to their families? There should be that measure, that heavy measure. Government should come down heavily on these people. Let them also feel it. And then the other aspect of it is, in terms of recruitment, how are they recruiting people? How is it possible for them to really get people into this evil enterprise? Then the arms, how are they getting the arms? Government has to cut that supply of arms. I know this administration has said a lot about stemming the flow of illicit arms, especially small arms. That's a major problem for Africa as a continent, the flow of illicit arms. But these things need to be dealt with. It's not just the regular policing or the regular security. So these things must be dealt with at the root so that our country will be safer. We can't just continue with this waste of lives. These people must be put where they belong.
Mm-hmm. In terms of how, let's say, he was asking how they recruit them, and it's very easy to look at the nexus between unemployment, poverty level, a country that poverty is ravaging with the society, and to recruit them as bandits, and it's quite lucrative.
No, it's going to be very easy to recruit, them, because once you have poverty, people cannot eat, they can't feed. The only thing, anybody that comes to them, they will just, sell themselves.
The next meal is not certain.
Of course.
Okay, Ayinde is calling us from Lagos. Thank you for joining us, Ayinde.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Go ahead, Ayinde.
Okay, to everybody in the studio.
Good evening.
I want to contribute to the issue of our policemen.
Go ahead, please. Are you there?
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, please.
Are you hearing me, sir?
Go ahead.
Yes. My contribution to the issue of our police. You see, people will continue to lose confidence in our police because police are not doing what they're supposed to do. On Thursday in the morning, I was in your office to lay a complaint. And this will be the second time. On Wednesday night, around 9 o'clock, I was coming from Costain, coming to Ikorodu. K2 bus stop, both row and flow. And that Wednesday was the second time I was attacked. Not only me, all the vehicles in the hold up attacked by all these hoodlums. So on Thursday morning, I went to the Ketu police station to complain. They were asking me, do I know them? Can I recognize them? So what sort of person is this? Am I saying in Ketu to know all these boys? They now asked me to meet a police officer that I should collect his number. So whenever I'm coming like that, I should call that one. Look at that response. From there,
Thank you, Ayinde. Thank you for this is what we get
every day. So the
I
thing
hope
is,
the PRO is listening.
yeah, exactly.
They need to strengthen security around
Especially,
that area.
K2. So there are so many
notorious.
police stations. There are so many police stations like that. And I think by the time we start to talk about them more, there will be changes, because we need a police force that is professional whenever they are doing their job. So
and inspires confidence.
yes,
in
you know,
people.
because there was a time that people did not even respect the police. You know, but I think right now people are beginning to see that without them, then we are not safe.
Yeah, oh,
you know.
sure.
All right.